Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu no Rito and Miroku prayer. Please stand. Taka hara ni kanzumarimasu. Kamuro ge kamuro mino mikoto mochite. Tsume miyoya kamo izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no himuka no tachi hana no. Odo no ahagi hara ni. Misogi hara itamo toki ni narimaseru. Arai dono kami tachi. Moro moro no maga goto tsumi kegareo. Harai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshio. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomoni. Ame no fuchi koma no mimi furi tatete. Kikoshi mese to kashi komi mo maosu. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Kamnagara tamachi haemase. Kamnagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving your ray. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated for group jury. May God Meishu-sama bless you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroka Association headquarters. In our prayers this morning, we elevated our thoughts for the victims of COVID-19, their families, those who had affinity with those that made their transition, also for the victims of the fires that are afflicting the northwestern portion of North America. Pray that their suffering will be alleviated and that their normal lives can be resumed as soon as possible. Today's teaching is entitled Soul Polishing. It is from Daily Inspirations, page 92. Even diamonds so highly treasured are as dull as sand pebbles, until polished to their much appreciated luster. Spiritual cleansing occurs in the physical world when people come together, both the good and the bad, to polish each other's souls. Those purified in body and spirit can pass through times of great tribulation with much ease. You cannot judge conclusively if someone or something is good or evil. In the eyes of God, even evil has a purpose. As a matter of fact, the polishing of your soul, your spiritual training and cleansing, are a result of the dark forces. Dark forces make you suffer, and in the training that ensues, your soul is getting polished. Therefore, dark forces are like rubbing stones that train and cleanse good people. To make a good sword in olden times, a smith first thrust the rough metal into a hot fire. Once it had softened sufficiently from the heat, he withdrew the metal, hammered on it while it was still hot, and then thrust it into cold water. This process was done over and over again until the raw material had been forged into a beautiful, powerful sword. The same process applies to our own lives. Who hasn't had to face the hot fires of criticism, the hammering of persecution, and the cold waters of rejection? Since ancient times, those who have accomplished truly great things have suffered unusual hardships, like the forging of a sword. Spiritual explanation is that the greater a person's mission is to be, the harder are the trials first endured. So, we should be grateful for all difficult experiences. This morning, I also have two faith experiences I would like to share. First one is from Josiane Alves. She's from Mauá, in the state of São Paulo, Brazil. Josiane Alves has been involved with the Jorei movement since childhood, as she was blessed to be part of a family of pioneer members of our church. In December 2015, she gave birth to her son Lorenzo, who is now 5 years old. At around 8 months of age, in addition to breast milk, she started the introduction of food with fruit chips, juices, soups, eggs, and whipped food, always prioritizing foods from nature farming or organic sources. And her son ate a little of everything. However, in early 2019, he simply stopped eating the old other foods and accepted only breast milk. She was concerned because she knew he needed other nutrients and solid food, even to strengthen his digestive system and teeth. Over time, he began to have recurrent colds, mouth ulcers, and to lose weight. She tried to encourage him to showing the fruits of the altar's offerings and services, but he was delighted and did not eat them. With the onset of social isolation due to the pandemic, Josiane and her husband began to carry out our practices of faith at home more frequently. They intensified the channeling of Jorei, reading of Meishu-sama's teachings, and prayers at their home altar. She attended our morning and evening online services and called her son to join her so that he would receive light and regain pleasure for foods. After approximately 15 days of intensifying our practice of faith and attending daily services as usual, she prepared her son's meal, asking God and Meishu-sama that he would accept it. To her surprising happiness, he ate all the food with meat and vegetables. Since then, he returned to eating normally. He stopped breastfeeding and gradually expanded the amount and variety of foods he consumes. He no longer had the mouth ulcers and colds that regained his weight. They continue to carry out our practice of faith at home, and she is gradually returning to dedications at the Jorai Center. Luciane is very thankful to God and Meishu-sama for her son's life and health, as well as for the permission to know his teachings and Jorai, which have always brought her spiritual strength and serenity to overcome any purification. For those who have joined or are joining our morning and evening services regularly, you will notice that this faith experience has been shared before, but because I received the request to be shared again for its importance, and that's why we heard again this experience. And this other one is from Sandra Maria Veiga from Lisbon, Portugal. Sandra Maria Veiga got to know our church through a friend. At the time, she was having marital problems with her partner, who drank a lot, causing a lot of conflicts between them. She had already spent some money to solve these problems, but to no avail. The situation was fine for a few days, but then it got worse. As she was suffering, she asked her friend, to go to the Jorai Center. Until she was able to get there, there were many obstacles. Even so, she didn't give up, and they arrived at the church close to their closing time. Nonetheless, she received her first Jorai and was guided to return to the next day to talk to the person in charge. In the meeting with the minister, she opened her heart, even reporting about a miscarriage that she had had before her eldest daughter's birth. The minister then guided her to give service and elevate her thoughts to this child of hers, expressing gratitude to him or her for their existence. She began practicing according to the guidance received and had the opportunity to speak with a Ikebana Sangetsu instructor, who also reinforced the importance of dedicating, thanking God for the existence of this child, and to materialize her gratitude. She understood that the origin of this conflict with her partner could be the manifestation of this child, manifesting some revolt and suffering. In addition to dedicating cleaning the Jorai Center's restrooms and making donations, she engaged in reading the teachings of God revealed to Meishu-sama. She did all these basic practices of faith, always with great determination and no self-interest. After a few months, she experienced a pain in her stomach. Her daughter even commented that she had gained a lot of weight, and Sandra thought, what's my problem? Based on that, she took some tests, but nothing serious was found, and the doctors even considered the possibility of pregnancy. So she thought, pregnancy? How come? It's impossible. 10 years ago, she had cancer in the uterus, for which she underwent several treatments, surgeries, and it was found that she would not have any conditions to have more children. After that, she even took fertility medications, but to no avail. In the meantime, she took a pregnancy test, and to her surprise, the result was positive. She couldn't believe it. Sandra immediately made an appointment with her doctor, who congratulated her, but also asked, how did you get pregnant since you couldn't have children according to the medical science? Her husband couldn't believe it either, and it wasn't until she had an ultrasound that he really came to his senses. Her friend, the one who had guided her, told Sandra right away, this child is Meishu-sama's baby. It has been a difficult and risky pregnancy, but Thanks to God and Meishu-sama, everything is under control. Moreover, her husband is acting very calm, and conflicts no longer exist between them. It has been a difficult and, again, risky pregnancy, but things are under control. He has stopped drinking, and he no longer sleeps outside their home. To express her gratitude for all these blessings received, she made the decision to start channeling Jorei so that she could help others. Thus, she received the sacred focal point Ohikari and has already been talking about our church and the miracles of Jorei to several people. She has materialized through donations her gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for blessings received and for the apparently negative situations that happen in our lives. Sandra learned from this experience the importance of reporting and surrendering our problems to God and Meishu-sama and asking for guidance in order to solve them. She wants to commit herself ever more, putting as a priority the expansion of the divine work in the region of Lourdes, where she currently lives. Sandra is very thankful to God, Meishu-sama, her ancestors, and her minister for the guidance and support received. Thank you very much for listening to these experiences. I wish you a very wonderful day and very wonderful week ahead of us. With this concludes our morning service. Thank you very much.